Okay, student, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Today is 2nd of June 2020. We are having our economics lesson about economic efficiency as we started before our Eid holidays. So economic efficiency, we said, this is a concept in which we are utilizing the economic resources in such a way that we want to maximize in order to fulfill the maximum of human wants within limited resources. So efficiency means when resources are used in such a way that their wastage is minimized, but there is no wastage, then we say there is going to be economic efficiency. Broadly speaking, we said there are two main types of economic efficiency. One is called productive efficiency. Productive efficiency means what? If in an economy we say we are producing the goods and services, one is called the capital goods, another is called the consumer goods. You are quite familiar with the concept of PPC, production possibility curve. So we say when economy is utilizing all of its resources, it is operating along its PPC. They said when economy is utilizing all of its economic resources, then it is operating along PPC. So it will achieve economic efficiency, productive efficiency will be there when it is producing along PPC. Nothing of the resources will be wasted, or it will not be having any unemployment of the resources. And if economy is operating below PPC at point X, where some of the resources are left unemployed, more could be produced if resources are fully employed. But if we see economy is not fully utilizing its resources, it is operating below PPC, so it is called economic inefficiency when it operates below PPC. And if it operates along PPC, any point along PPC will show us that economy is achieving productive efficiency. Nothing of factor of production, land, labor, capital are left unemployed. It is having full employment, no wastage at all. So economy will be achieving productive efficiency. Whereas we said productive efficiency can also be analyzed in the firm where goods are produced. I said the firms, they are producing the goods, they want to minimize their per unit cost or average cost of production. Average total cost is equal to total cost over quantity produced. Suppose total cost is 1,000 and 100 units are produced, so per unit cost will be 10. So if firm produces 200 units and its total cost is 1,200, now per unit cost will be 6. What is? Now if firm is producing 200 units, its per unit cost is lower than the 100 units produced. If it produces 300 units and its total cost is 3,000 divided by 300, again its per unit cost increases to 10. So when per unit cost of production is minimized and it produces 200 units, so it is achieving productive efficiency. So at this point, if this is point, we can say this is point A, where firm is producing 100 units and its per unit cost is 10. And this is point B, where firm produces 200 units and its per unit cost is 6. And this could be the point C, where it produces 300 units and its per unit cost is again 10. This is point C. So we can see average cost first decreases, then increases. So it is having a valley shape. So when firm is producing at the minimum point of its average cost, so it is achieving productive efficiency. This is about how a firm will be achieving the productive efficiency when it is producing a good in its production unit. So this is, we are talking about the productive efficiency in the farm. This is the productive efficiency in the economy. Now come towards the allocative efficiency in the market. Allocation of resources should also be efficient. Economy or producers should not be allocating the resources in the production of the goods which are not demanded or less demanded by the consumers, or they are harmful to the consumers. So if in the market economy, whatever the goods are demanded, they are supplied, then we say market is having allocative efficiency, like it is producing those goods which are demanded, like education, it is demanded, or we say cell phones, they are demanded and they are supplied by the producers, and the market is having neither surplus nor shortage. So whatever is demanded, it is supplied. We say market is having the allocative efficiency. When all the markets, they are operating at equilibrium point, we say we are having the allocative efficiency, like whatever the goods are demanded by the consumers, they are supplied by the sellers in right quantity, then we say we are having allocative efficiency. Suppose public goods are demanded by the society, by the consumers, but they are not supplied by the producers, then we find allocative inefficiency in the market system. So in case of public goods, we are having allocative inefficiency in the market economy. In case of merit goods, we say they are undersupplied. We are having again allocative inefficiency in the market system. And in case of demerit goods, we are having allocative inefficiency in the sense that they are more demanded as they are harmful, so they are having overconsumption. So in that case, in merit goods, in demerit goods, or in public goods, market system will become inefficient. Now come towards the allocative efficiency in the firm. I said, what is meant by the marginal cost of production? Marginal cost means what? Marginal cost, marginal means extra or additional. When a firm is producing an extra unit, marginal cost means it is extra or additional cost of production, additional cost of production due to an extra unit produced, due to an extra unit produced, So marginal cost is that, suppose we say, I am raising this side, when firm produces 10 units, its total cost is 100. So when it produces 11 units, its total cost goes to 105. So the marginal cost of production will be 5. When it produces 12 units, its marginal cost goes to 107. So the additional cost is now 2. So when it produces 13 units, its total cost goes to 120. So now the marginal cost will be 13. And when it produces the 14 units, its marginal cost goes to 140. So the marginal cost will be 20 now. So if we see marginal cost first decreases, then it steeply increases. It has this shape. All right. Here we find the marginal cost. So this is the shape of marginal cost of production. So when price is equal to the marginal cost of production, we say firm will be achieving allocative efficiency in its production. Like whatever the price is charged by the firm, that is equal to the additional cost of production of the last unit produced. So we say we are going to have allocative efficiency of the firm where price is equal to marginal cost. Like price should equal to the marginal cost of production, or price should equal to the marginal cost of production. It will show us allocative efficiency achieved by the firm. Suppose price is greater than marginal cost, like firm is selling a product at a price which is higher than its marginal cost of production, then what happens? Firm will produce an extra unit because it gives him an extra profit. Additional profit is there, or marginal profit is there. Firm will go on producing. Like we say, at this level, price is higher than the marginal cost, so firm will produce another unit. And if price is going to be lower than marginal cost, like above this level, this output level, we say now the price will be lower and marginal cost will be higher. So firm will not be producing at this level. Firm will decrease the level of output, and it will reach to a point in the productive efficiency, allocative efficiency, when this condition is fulfilled. Allocative efficiency can only be achieved in the firm when price charged by the firm is equal to the marginal cost of production. And if price is higher than the marginal cost, allocative efficiency is not achieved. And if price is lower than marginal cost of production, then it will be again having allocative inefficiency. That was about we studied before our Eid holidays. Now I am going to tell you about the technical efficiency again. Then I will approach towards X efficiency and then Pareto efficiency. These are the topics which are left over, or static efficiency, dynamic efficiency. They are the part of this chapter, economic efficiency. Now come towards the technical efficiency. What do we mean by technical efficiency? You know, when the firm is producing output, it is adopting different types of methods of production, like labor intensive technology, where more labor is produced to more labor is used to produce output. And sometimes the firm is using capital intensive methods of production, where more capital is used to produce the output. So when firm is adopting new technology, so as a result, its per unit cost of production will decrease during the short run. So we say the firm will be achieving technical efficiency. What do we mean? When a firm adopts a new technology, its average total cost decreases. It will achieve technical efficiency. What does it achieve? It achieves the technical efficiency. So what we say, the firm will be achieving technical efficiency when it is adopting new technology, like due to a new technology. Previously, it was producing at this minimum point of the average cost. This is point B maybe. And now due to new technology, its average cost has shifted downward. So instead of producing along previous average cost, now it is producing along new average cost of production. So this is V bar. So this production level will be achieved due to new technology at lower cost of production. When firm is able to reduce its per unit cost due to new technology, we say the firm is achieving technical efficiency. What does it achieve? It achieves a technical efficiency in the in its production process, because it is now utilizing or using a new technology to produce the same product or same level of output at lower per unit cost due to new technology. So this is called technical efficiency. Another concept which is related to technical efficiency, that is about X efficiency. So technical efficiency means what? Due to new technology, the firms are able to reach a new minimum point that is called the technical efficiency, which is achieved. So when we say X efficiency of the firm, what do we mean by X efficiency? X efficiency means what? The firm is producing at the minimum point of average cost, but due to competition, it has to give the raw material supplier more prices, or due to lockdown effects, the firms have to pay more wages and salaries to their workers. So their actual per unit cost is higher than whatever it assumed to be. Like firm is producing here, but its average cost is having above level than this minimum, because as a hidden charges, as different types of other expenditures which are not shown in the production method, but they are incurred by the firm. They have to be paid. Like raw material supplier is asking for more money to be paid to him, or technology is requiring more maintenance cost maybe. So we are having a cost of production higher than this minimum. So we say this firm cannot achieve X efficiency. X efficiency means what? If firm is producing, there are three different types of cost curves: average total cost curve 1, average total cost curve 2, average total cost curve 3. So the minimum point of the minimum average cost, like this is also productive efficiency point. Due to technology, this is a new productive efficiency point, and due to further technology, this is the lowest point of technical efficiency. So if firm is producing at the minimum point of the minimum average cost curve, minimum point of the minimum average cost curve, this is the point X, then we say the firm is achieving X efficiency. So if firm is having this condition that it is although producing at this minimum point, but actually its average cost is here, not at this level, then it will be showing us X inefficiency. This is what? X inefficiency. When it is unable to achieve this minimum point, although it is showing that it is operating here, but actual average cost is higher than this one. So if it is having the same minimum point, which is having the lowest point of the lowest average total cost curve, and it is attaining that, then we say it is achieving X efficiency in its technical efficiency. Any point other than this minimum point of the minimum average total cost curve will be called X inefficient point, and it is usually happens in case of monopoly or imperfect market structures. During competition, we do not find such types of things, but in case of imperfect market structures, we will be analyzing them in our next chapter. The firms are going to face this X inefficiency as well. Now these are, we said, productive efficiency, technical efficiency, X efficiency, and we also said what about static efficiency? Static means in a fixed time period. Like if we are measuring economic efficiency in the short run, like in a given time period, in a fixed time period, then it is called a static efficiency. It is efficiency or economic efficiency measured in a fixed time period, fixed time period, or short run. Short run, we said it is a time period when some factors of production are fixed and others are variable. So like if I say what is your O-level result, so we are specifying a time that what result you have achieved. That means we are measuring your static efficiency. In a fixed time period, if we are measuring the efficiency, that what is the per unit cost of production of the firm within 1 month or within 1 year. So we say we have fixed the time period. So in that time period, how the firm has behaved, that is called the static efficiency. What do we mean by dynamic efficiency? Dynamic efficiency. Dynamic means over the period of time, like in long run, if firm is able to minimize its per unit cost of production, so in long run, if it is able to have minimization of the cost of production, then we say the firm has achieved dynamic efficiency. This is what long run average cost, and this is the minimum point. This is called a firm is producing at the minimum point of its long run average cost of production. Then we say it is achieving dynamic efficiency. Like over the period of time, if I ask you from class 1 to A1, how was your performance related to your results? In each class, how have you performed in terms of percentage? So over the period of time, if we are analyzing the performance of a student, that means we are using dynamic efficiency concept. Whereas for a specific time, like for A1 or O level, we have fixed the time, then that will be called a static result of static efficiency. And then if we are comparing it with the past years, and we see how the average cost of the performance of firm has been there, and if it is producing at the minimum point of its long run average cost, then it will achieve dynamic efficiency in its production. Now, these are the different types of productive efficiency. Like we said, firm is producing at minimum of per unit cost when new technology is adopted, and X efficiency, static efficiency, dynamic efficiency. Now come towards Pareto efficiency, which is a type of allocative efficiency. Now, we studied mainly the productive efficiency in detail and allocative efficiency of the firm. Now come towards the allocative efficiency or Pareto efficiency or Pareto optimality. Pareto efficiency means what? Actually, when we are having allocation of resources, we want to see whether our allocation is having the desired level which is demanded by the consumers or not. Pareto efficiency definition means if there is no way, if there is no way to make someone better off, to make someone better off without making others worse off, without making others worse off, then we say we have achieved Pareto efficiency or Pareto optimality. I give you an example in this case. Like an economy is producing below PPC at this point X, where we can say 50 capital goods and 100 consumer goods are produced at point X. More could be produced. If we approach PPC, we are approaching PPC. By this, we are increasing the production of capital goods to 200, whereas consumer goods are not decreased. We have made the capital goods producers better off without making the consumer goods worse off. So there is a possibility. Now we have achieved Pareto efficiency. That means this X point is Pareto inefficient. Someone can be made better off without making others worse off. Like someone can be made better off without making others worse off. This X point is said to be Pareto inefficient. But this point, suppose we say this is point A. Now we have reached to this point A. Now there is no way to make someone better off without making others worse off. Suppose we move towards point B. So what happened? We are reallocating the resources. We are taking some of the resources from capital goods towards the production of consumer goods. So in that case, we are making the consumer goods better off by making the capital goods worse off. So we say any point along PPC will be called Pareto efficient or Pareto optimal point, where we find no way to make someone better off without making others worse off. All right. So this is called what? Pareto efficiency. Sometimes we are operating along PPC, but there is going to be Pareto improvement. Pareto improvements. What do we mean by Pareto improvement? We are having a bridge outside our school on the Kashmir Road. Previously, we did not have it. So government has produced this bridge by making someone worse off in order to improve the Pareto efficiency. Previously, it was a congested point. So government has improved the Pareto efficiency by making someone worse off if we are making a school or constructing a school by sacrificing the output of agricultural products. So we are improving the Pareto efficiency or Pareto optimality. So Pareto efficiency means what? If there is no way to make someone better off without making others worse off, then we say the farm or the economy that has achieved Pareto efficiency. This is a type of allocative efficiency. So economic efficiencies, they have been reached to its end. So we say Pareto efficiency is the last topic of economic efficiency, in which we find that the economy, if it is operating along PPC, although it is producing at A, but at this A point, 100 consumer goods are produced. Whereas consumers are demanding more of the consumer items, so government will reallocate the resources in the production of more consumer goods and less capital goods. So it is actually achieving Pareto improvement or Pareto efficiency. Point B is having more welfare to the consumers rather than to the producers. So here economy is achieving Pareto improvement or Pareto efficiency when there is no way to make someone better off without making others worse off. So that was about our economic efficiencies. In our next lesson, we will be studying about the market failure, why the market system or free market economies, they are having the failures in the allocation of resources. So we say we will be studying when efficiency is not achieved by the market forces or by the firms or by the economies, then there can be allocative inefficiencies, which is the reason of the market failure or the market is operating economic inefficiency points. So that's all for today, and now we are going to have a question answer session for you people. If you are having any query, you can ask me in your